Today we're going to start a new book called Lulu and the Brontosaurus. And Lulu is a delightful book about a very undelightful girl. And it's a chapter book, and we're going to do a character analysis on Lulu. And when we do that, when we read chapter books, I usually read the little blurb on the back. That's like taking a picture walk in a picture book, but this is a chapter book. So let me read it, and then we'll start the very first chapter. It says, Lulu always gets what she wants, even if it takes screeching till the light bulbs burst, throwing herself on the floor, kicking her heels, and waving her arms in the air. Until now, for when she asks her parents to give her a Brontosaurus for her birthday, they say for maybe the first time ever, no. So Lulu takes matters into her own hands and finds herself the perfect Brontosaurus for a pet. Or is he? I'm not telling. And this book was written by Judith Vorst, and it's illustrated by Lane Smith. My plant is kind of in the way. You will find this book is kind of silly, but I will show you the pictures when I have them. Okay. It says, okay, all right, you don't have to tell me, I know. I know that people and dinosaurs have never lived on Earth at the same time, and I know that dinosaurs aren't living now. I even also know that paleontologists, folks who study dinosaurs, decided that a dinosaur that was once called a Brontosaurus, a very nice name, shouldn't be called Brontosaurus anymore, and changed it to a Potosaurus, a kind of ugly name. But since I'm the person writing the story, I get to choose what I write, and I am writing about a girl and a Brontosaurus. So if you don't want to read this book, you can close it right up now. You won't hurt my feelings. And if you want to still read it, here it goes. And that's like the author talking directly to you. So this book, sometimes the author is telling the story, and sometimes the author is talking right to you. I think you'll like it. Chapter 1. There once was a girl named Lulu, and she was a pain. She wasn't a pain in the elbow. She wasn't a pain in the knee. She was a pain. A very big pain in the B-U-T-T butt. Now Lulu was an only child, and her mom and dad gave her everything she wanted. And guess what? Lulu wanted everything. Tons of candy, tons of toys, tons of watching, tons of cartoon on TV. And if her mother and dad ever said, and they hardly ever said it, sorry, darling, we think you've had enough, Lulu would screech till the light bulbs burst and throw herself down on the floor, and then she would kick her heels and wave her arms, and pretty soon her mom and her dad would say, well, just this once, and they'd let her have whatever it was that she wanted. Oh, that Lulu. That was chapter 1, but it was a very short chapter. So let's read chapter 2 and maybe chapter 3. Chapter 2. 2 weeks before Lulu's birthday, she announced to her mom and her dad that she wanted a Brontosaurus for her B-Day present. What did she say? What? A Brontosaurus? Yes, she wanted a Brontosaurus for a pet. At first, Lulu's mom and dad just thought she was making a little joke, and then they saw, oh, the horrors, that she was serious. They patiently explained that a Brontosaurus is quite enormous, a dinosaur who lives in a forest and not in people's houses. Is that where a Brontosaurus would live, in a forest? I'm afraid that I'm not absolutely sure, but since I'm the person writing the story, I'm putting a Brontosaurus in the forest, along with a lot of other wild beasts that I'm absolutely sure did not live on Earth when dinosaurs were there. Anyway, Lulu's mom and her dad continued explaining to her, although a Brontosaurus is into eating plants, not animals, including human animals like Lulu, and though it is cute in a long-necked, pin-headed kind of way, it is too huge and too wild to be a good pet. A dog, a cat, a goldfish, a bird, a gerbil, a guinea pig, yes. A Brontosaurus? Definitely no. There are all the little animals. A Brontosaurus would be too big for my house. That's for sure. Chapter 3. No? Her mom and dad were telling Lulu no? Lulu wasn't used to hearing no, and she really hated hearing no. To show how much she hated it, she screeched and screeched and screeched until the light bulbs in the living room burst. I want a brontosaurus for my birthday, she screeched. I want a brontosaurus for a pet. Well, maybe we could get you a nice pet rabbit, said her mom. Or even, said her dad, a nice pet rat. No, screeched Lulu. I want a brontosaurus for a pet. Then she threw herself down on the floor and kicked her heels and waved her arms and screeched some more. What do you think? Do you think she'll get a brontosaurus for a pet? It seems like she might need to have a timeout to me. We'll read some more later.